It should be good. Yeah, what happened to the Fort Collins one, dude?
Okay, so I go in and I'm looking for minis, and so it's like the cafe and the game store, right?
Yeah.
I go in, it says the cafe is closed, and I'm like, that's not good, because I feel like that would be the moneymaker over the game store,
You would think, but food places work on tighter profit margins than retail.
That's true. But so I see that the cafe is closed. I go into the game store. It is shockingly empty because it's also a comic store. They don't have a lot of comics out.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's weird.
Okay, so this is something I've been, because I like to look up the prices of stuff that I like to buy.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm spending more than $50 on it, because
Yeah.
So apparently, what's going on is that there's in the collectible sphere, especially with board games and trading cards, there's a huge crash of the prices of sealed product.
Okay.
So what happens is that 2020, 2021, you had a boom of just people buying, stocking up, Magic the Gathering D&D prices went to the roof. You remember?
Yeah, because everybody was inside. It was the only thing to do.
Yeah. So now what's happening is that a bunch of speculators bought all that stuff to resell.
Yeah.
Right? And then it just shot up the prices more. And apparently, don't take my word into this. This is just what I've been reading and seeing around
this is what we got from Joe Rogan,
Yeah. Definitely, totally Joe Rogan,
definitely
right?
Joe Rogan. Yeah, big Joe Rogan guys here on Momscast.
And then what they say is it's the market's just adjusting because the actual consumers don't want to pay $200 for a booster box. That's not a premium product. If you're just buying a regular booster box of one of the latest sets,
yeah, it's not worth it.
They're going down to the newer ones are going down to $100, $95.
Yeah.
And the older ones are all the way down in the 70s.
And again, the problem is that the people that this fucks over is the local game stores.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And with that, welcome back to the 32nd episode of Mom Said It's My Turn on the podcast.
30 what?
I'm Brandon.
And I'm Victor.
And Victor, what do you got for a brewski beer today?
Oh, I don't have anything. I should really do something.
Yeah, you should probably do something about that. Today is the Brandon went to the gym and is trying to go to the gym more. And when I drink on gym days, I feel terrible. So I took an edible before this. And so we're going to play Guess When Brandon's Edible Kicks In on Momscast today.
Oh, no. I hate this game. Well,
I think it'll be. I think I can hold it together. I just got to lock in for the recording sesh.
My household, we just don't keep a lot of mixers.
Yeah.
And I've been cutting down on the brewskis, right? Because new year, new Momscast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and bread makes you fat, and
bread butter makes you fat. Yeah.
And
unfortunately,
then,
it's the sad truth of the world.
Yeah, brewskis are just bread use. So I was like, oh, what do I have? And I have some bud, some gin,
Oh yeah. Well, you can make a Long Island iced tea.
I don't have any mixers though, so I don't have the Coke for the Long Island iced tea.
Oh,
so it's
tough.
you know what? I'm not gonna sit here recording Momscast and just be drinking shots of bud like a degenerate. I mean, I totally could.
You could,
but do I want to? No.
It doesn't. I don't think it enhances the final product at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's worth it.
Momscast is it's we get one brewski and we just chillax kind of deal.
Oh yeah,
maybe two.
Except for the movie commentary where we're both kind of sloshed by the end of it.
No, that one we decided we were gonna get sloshed.
Yeah,
so. I drunk 2 or 3 chug jugs.
I had a couple brewski beers during the movie commentary track.
The movie, I'm just telling you, if you remember how the shield pots, if you remember what I described, that the alcohol volume on that's 3 or 4 standard drinks per drink, and I had 3 of those.
On a more serious note, though, we do have to have a quick moment of silence on the podcast. I hope you observe with us. Take a hat off if you got a hat on, because we gotta have a moment of silence.
Take your hat off.
I know, I gotta take my hat off. Hold on, Victor. You want to explain the moment of silence while I do this?
Well, we want to take a moment of silence for all the great YouTubers that decided to retire. These past few weeks, we're talking Tom Scott, we're talking Mad Pat, we're talking Captain Sparkles, and yeah. Brandon also has a special moment of silence.
Pete Carroll also got fired, and I'm upset about that. Pete Carroll and the Seahawks got fired. I'm upset about that.
Everyone's getting fired.
Everyone's
Pete Carroll,
getting fired or retiring. It's
Bill
kind of
Belichick and Nick Saban. I don't think he's fired or retired, but
I don't think Saban got fired. I think he just called it quits. But let's have a quick moment of silence. I hope you observe with us. Okay, I think that was enough silence for this. Hat back on.
But okay. I'm gonna offer you a trade, guys, and you're gonna tell me which one you like.
Okay, what were you saying?
Trade offer. You get a new Momscast episode, but Matt Pat retires the next day.
Dude, that was fucked. That was. I don't know. This kind of like I don't know. We make an episode about about the content creation grind, and then all these people are quitting. I don't know.
Momscast making ripples in the scene,
Yeah, Momscast has motion. Dude, I don't get the motion trend. I don't get it.
What do you mean you don't get it?
I just don't get it. I don't get how you're supposed to use it. Like, I don't know. I guess I don't have motion.
There are 4 laws of motion by Sir Isaac Newton.
I don't know. I just don't have motion. I just don't got motion.
You don't have motion? You don't have big stacks? I'll be right back. Give me a second.
No, I don't got big stacks or motion. But it's like I saw. And again, the reason I think about this is I got a TikTok on my feed. It was POV Doctor Who in 2023 because this was like Christmas time, right before the special came out. It's like these lames say I ain't got motion, telling me I'm not with it. I went to your hood and they don't know you. Embarrassing. Victor's grabbed some fat stacks. I forgot they used U.S. money in Panama. I got confused for a second. I see Victor pull out like 10 Ben Franklins on me. Victor's got motion.
Dude, you gotta have the motion.
Yeah,
you gotta
have motion.
You gotta have the motion. Look at it. Yo, fuck boy.
Yeah, Victor fucking out here. He's got like 10 Ben Franklins. Go to the bank, motherfucker.
I don't trust the banks. The banks are fake. They take your money and never give it back.
That's why I invest in gold.
All I'm saying is that the bank can go bankrupt, but my mattress so is gonna be there.
Dude, I don't know. I think it's weird though. I see a lot of people like freaking out. They're like, everybody's retiring, and I feel like this is the first like, shit, we're getting old moment for like people born between like 1990. I'm gonna go with like 1996 to 2004. This is like the first like shit, I'm getting old moment for
for the
people.
early Zoomers, for us early Zoomers, it's
for
it's
the Zillennials
like,
is the I saw the term Zillennials and I was like, yeah.
Most of us are either way behind in college, graduating college, or like have graduated college for a while now.
Well, because it's like 96 to people born in 1996. They're what, like 6 years older? Yeah, they're 6 years older than me, so they're like 27. And I think 27 is probably like the age where you start going like, shit, I'm like an old fuck now. Because like that's when you stop looking like a college kid, you know?
Yeah.
It's when you stop looking like a college kid and you start just looking like an adult.
That's when if you're with a college chick, they start looking at you weird. You know what I mean?
Like if someone like, even like someone like my age, because I'm like a senior in college. I'm officially a senior in college. 2 semesters left. Hey, 2 semesters left. Officially a senior in college.
I got fucked by transfers. I'm technically a freshman again.
L. You dropped this L. You're putting the L in Victor.
At least I got motion, Brandon.
Yeah, I know he's got motion. I don't got motion. But like, even if someone like my age, because I'm 21, I'm a senior in college, was like, I'm going out with a 27-year-old. I would give you a side eye. I would give you a side eye. I'd give you like the Rock eyebrow raise. I would give you one of those.
Yeah. Like if you're going out, like it's weird. You know what I mean? It's weird. You know, I got confirmed. You know, I'm a good Catholic boy.
Yeah. I got confirmed and stopped going to church. I was raised Catholic. I stopped going to church after I got
me too.
I'm a good Catholic.
Yeah, me too. Anyways. So, my godfather, you know, when you get confirmed, you get to pick your godfather. Different from baptism, you know?
Oh, I never called it a godfather. We called it our confirmation sponsor in my church. Same thing. Same thing.
We call it godfather, right? And so, I got to pick mine, you know? I closed, like, he was a alumni. We were never in high school at the same time.
Yeah.
But he was an alumni from a school. He came back to be our like debate coach. But
okay. You've told me about this guy. Yeah.
He was like what 20. I'm gonna say 25, 24.
Yeah.
When he was coaching us, now I'm like talking to him, we're getting lunch because you gotta catch up with people.
Oh yeah,
right,
of course.
I'm like, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm like gonna turn 28 this year, and I'm like, what? What?
Yeah. Like,
yeah, so it's like you're like, it's weird, dude. It's weird.
I think but I think all this stuff too. It's like, I feel like recently, because it's like, for me, it's like, again, I got the 1-2 punch. I got all the OG YouTubers retiring, and I got the Pete Carroll getting fired. I can't believe he got fired. I'm gonna go off on it really quick, like real quick rant on this.
Make it quick.
Alarm sound here. Brandon talking about sports alert. Terrible day for all our fans who say sports ball. So I think that in the NFL, there are some guys who have done enough to deserve, like, to earn the right to never get fired, and to just, like, you've earned that right to just get to hang it up. And I think that in the NFL, there were really only a couple of those guys. I think there's only a couple of them. Like, let's go flashback to like last week. There's only a couple of those guys who can decide when they want to like hang it up, and it's kind of like, I think it is objectively wrong to fire them. I think it's bad juju. I think the Seahawks have some bad juju moving forward, because it's like, I think those guys were Bill Belichick, Pete Carroll, Andy Reid, and Mike Tomlin. Those guys have earned the right to decide when they want to ride off into the sunset and leave. They have earned that right in my mind. And John Harbaugh with the Ravens. And so it's like, you just saw two of those guys get fired. Like, bad juju. Bad juju.
What about the Steelers guy?
Mike Tomlin?
I
said
Mike Tomlin.
And so it's like, you saw two of those guys get fired. And with Pete Carroll especially, I think it's bad juju on the organization. I think the Seahawks are going to be fucking atrocious next year. I think it's bad juju to fire a guy who has had the sustained success that Pete Carroll has had, and the legendary career that Pete Carroll has had. Put him in the Hall of Fame already.
To finish this up, why is Pete Carroll without a job, but Nathaniel Hackett still has one? That's all I'm saying.
I know. Think about it.
That's all I'm saying.
Think about it. That's all I'm saying. Think about it.
It'll be a sad day. It's like the day we lost Big Kirko on the field.
Well, because it's also like, just a couple of years ago, the big talking point was like, all of like your childhood NFL quarterbacks
are no longer playing.
Have retired. Drew Brees is gone. Brady's gone. Peyton Manning's been gone, but like, Manning got included in that because Eli called it quits. Big Ben, respecter of women, called it quits. Like, all of the guys with tenure, aside from Aaron Rodgers, called it a career. Like, they were like, I'm done.
It's been happening everywhere. Because like in soccer, it's happening too. Yeah. And like, they're not retiring, but they're going to what they call farmers or retirement leagues, right?
Yeah.
Like, Messi is playing in the U.S.
Yeah, he's playing in Miami, right?
Right. The MLS, great football.
Soccer, Victor.
Great
it's
soccer.
America, damn it.
Great soccer, not the best soccer for like competitive wise. That's not where you're gonna.
Is the best competition in Is the best competition in like South America, or is it in like Europe, like Western
England.
Europe? England.
Right now it's a Premier. Like
right now it's the Premier League.
Back in the day, it used to be La Liga in Spain.
Yeah.
Now it's a Premier League.
Oh, okay.
But the thing is, like everybody's like that. Like most of the Barcelona squad, and most of like the La Liga squad that were like playing and were good when I was growing up, they're on the US or in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Ronaldo is in Saudi Arabia too. Like they're all either went to the MLS to retire and buy into the MLS clubs, or went to Saudi Arabia for the money.
I think that's a smart move though, is buying into those MLS clubs, just because it's like the teams aren't worth that much, so it's really like, especially because soccer players get paid stupid amounts of money, especially over in Europe and like
there's
South America.
There's no cost cap in soccer.
Yeah, so they get paid stupid amounts of money, so it's like they can just afford to do that. And also, like, I think soccer is slightly on the come up in the States. I don't think people are always like, oh, soccer's going to pass whatever, like, big four sport, because there's like big four sports in the States. You got football, baseball, hockey, and basketball. Soccer could be getting up, and we could have the big five sports in the States. It's never going to pass something. If it passes anything, it'll pass hockey.
I don't think soccer is going to get as big in the U.S. because I don't even say it's gonna be like a culture thing. It's just how suburban people and country people play football, right? That's their sport. But like city people or inner city kids, basketball's their shit.
Yeah, I think we've actually, I don't know if we've talked about this on the podcast, but you and I have definitely had this conversation. Me and you have talked about it. Because right? Because it's like, again, like the pickup games in like other countries, it's like, what did you have for like pickup games?
Soccer.
Exactly. In the States, pickup game is basketball. The pickup game is basketball. It's just a difference in culture. I don't know. I think there might be a culture shift coming, but
they might be, but I don't see it. What I can see is that there's a little more like All America decided that if we're gonna host a big cup, we're hosting it in the U.S. because that's where the best stadiums are at.
Yeah, they're playing it in the NFL stadium. I kind of want to go to a World Cup game, like honestly, just to say that I did it. You're going to LA for it? You're going to LA for one?
Me personally, I'm going to go to LA for it. I'm going to crash in Nats. Because my parents already went to one.
When is it? Is it next year?
I think it's next
like 2
year.
years. 2 years? 2026? Yeah. I might see if I can get out to LA. I might see if I can get out to LA and see
we'll do something. Those tickets, we gotta save up because those tickets ain't going to be cheap.
Nah, SoFi's going to be expensive. We might be able to get some shitty nosebleed seats.
Yeah.
I don't know. That might be something.
All the big cups are right now in the US, and let's be honest, Team USA is on a come up. Team USA, it's always been a good team, but it's always been a good team on a shittier like conference.
Yeah,
because like Team USA, the only really really good team on CONCACAF, which is the conference in the US and Panama are. Back in the day was Mexico.
Okay.
Right? Then you would have going to the World Cup, like for a given, you would get Mexico, either the US or Canada, and then one Central American or Caribbean team.
Okay.
Because we get 4 slots. Right? Now the teams that are getting stronger are Panama went from like one of the bottom tier teams to like top 4 teams.
Panama mentioned.
And the US is like also on the come up. Mexico and Canada are falling in the ranking.
Yeah.
So Team USA is in a come up. I love seeing the TikToks of Christian Pulisic, giving away his children for the US. Back in the World Cup, because I watched the World Cup, Brandon didn't. It was pretty fun watching Team USA.
Going back to kind of what we were talking about earlier with the retirement stuff, what's going to be like the nail in the coffin for a lot of people?
What?
LeBron retiring.
LeBron's not going to retire.
Dude's going to die on the court.
He's just going to die on the
court. He's
going
to get into basketball Valhalla. He's going to die on the court. That's what LeBron's plan is. But no, I think like when LeBron calls it quits, like I think a lot of people are going to be like, oh shit, I'm old now.
LeBron's not going to call it quits. This is what's going to happen. Okay? I'm not going to tell you what's going to happen. Okay, Bronny is gonna have an absolutely mid college career. He is still gonna get drafted
first round
by the Lakers to play with LeBron.
Yeah,
LeBron then is LeBron then is gonna say, "I'm not leaving until I get to play with Bronny Jr., which is gonna be Bronny's kid." And then the first game that Bronny's kid starts with LeBron and Bronny in the Lakers. LeBron's gonna have a heart attack.
He's going to basketball. He's going to basketball Valhalla. That's what's gonna happen. No, but it's like again, I do think that's gonna be the nail in the coffin for a lot of people. I think that's gonna be the switch to making like our generation into the old heads.
We already are the old heads, dude.
Yeah.
Or people are washed. Like you asked a kid today, oh, you want to be like an NFL QB? Who you want to be like? If you ask that question to me or you, we said Tom Brady.
Yeah, you say Brady.
You would say like I don't want to be a QB. I want to be a tight end like Gronk.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now you ask that and the kids are gonna be like, oh, I want to be like Patrick Mahomes or Travis Kelce.
I want to be Dak, and I did bully the kid for saying that. But no, it's like a lot of the because it's like the sports people had that, so it's like the NFL watchers had that a couple years ago with all the quarterbacks retiring, and it was like a second dose this week with all the coaches getting fired, and then the
The soccer people had at the World Cup because that was supposed to be like Messi's and Cristiano's last World Cup. God knows if they're gonna like play the next one because they refuse to retire. But yeah,
the sports ball people who say sports ball, that for them was the Matt Pat retirement and the Tom Scott retirement.
Yeah,
that was the I'm old now for those people.
As an avid watcher of not as much Matt Pat nowadays, but as both channels, I used to like really religiously watch Game Theory and Tom Scott.
Oh yeah,
dude, that hurt.
I get that. The Game Theory one got me. The Game Theory one did get me.
Me and Brandon watched it together. We were about to play some Fork Knife, and Brandon was like, "Matt Pat's retiring," and I was like, "What?"
Yeah. I think, do we call this episode Momscast Goes to the Beach That Makes You Old?
Yeah. Yeah.
Momscast, I think we just call it Momscast Gets Old.
Gets old.
Yeah, we just put some old filters on our faces. I think that might be the move. But yeah, no, it has been an interesting couple days. And I am interested to see, because again, I think we're on a new come up.
New era.
There's a new era.
I like the new people coming up in sports. I like the new people coming up on YouTube. It's a little new faces. It's a little new content creators.
All right, I'm gonna start sounding like an old head here. I don't like the people coming up in football that much. I don't know.
What? You don't like the Prince? You don't like the Prince? You don't like Josh Allen? You don't like
So I think that football has lost some of its edge. And this is not like a new take. This has been repeated by a lot of the old heads, and I guess I'm an old head now with football. Football's lost a lot of the edge, because it's like you don't see teams like openly hating each other anymore. Like there used to be like hate deep in the soul for like division rivals, and now it's like you see guys on like the team and they're like being chill with each other after the game. They're doing like the jersey swaps and all that shit. No, fuck that. That's lame as shit. That's lame as fuck.
I'm gonna tell you my opinion on why this happens. It's hard to see rivalries during a dynasty.
I don't know, because it's like, okay, so for me, the one that I think of is Seahawks 49ers. That rivalry peaked when Jim Harbaugh was the coach of the 49ers. Those teams fucking hated each other. There are many videos describing this. Fucking despised each other. Both teams openly hated each other.
Both teams were as fucking good as the other one.
Yes, exactly. Both teams were as good as the other one. This is very important to point out, which is why it's like that NFC Championship game that sent the Seahawks to the Super Bowl in 2013 is as like iconic as it is. It's like you get Richard Sherman after the game. I'm going to put the audio clip in here.
Joe, thank you so much. Richard, let me ask you the final play. Take me through it.
Well, I'm the best corner in the game. When you try me with a sorry receiver like Crabtree, that's the result you're going to get.
Like, that's what fucking sports is about, in my mind. That is a great sports moment because the teams hate each other. And then it's like, you see teams playing each other today, and it's like, wow, great, that's phenomenal,
But that's hard to do on a dynasty, and especially when they just let players move around as much as they do. Because, like, I'm going to tell you this. On my division, my beautiful division,
Jets,
the rivalries are the Bills and the Dolphins, and the Pats and the Jets. Those are the historic ones. I'm not talking about recent years. But how the fuck are you going to have a proper rivalry with the Jets and the Pats when the Jets, up until like last weekend, have been on a like 10-year slide of not beating the Pats in a single game? How are the Dolphins gonna be like, oh, we have a rivalry when they have been mid for the past few years?
I'm going to be honest, the only two in my mind that have retained like the hatred is Steelers Ravens and Falcons Saints. Those are the only two that have really kept it. And Falcons Saints is like a recent like reinvigoration of it because of Jameis faking the victory formation for an extra touchdown to run the score up. Like, that's what I'm here for. It's petty as shit and it's funny as fuck. Like, I'm here for that.
But it's because they're as good as each other. And also, and I'm going to sound like an old head here.
All right, let's go for it.
They're not hitting each other as hard as they used to.
No, they're not. Because the game like favors like offense, because it's like it's more fun to watch offensive highlights than it is to watch good defense. Because if you watch a game where there's really good defense, most viewers are going to be like, that game was boring as fuck. Because they just don't like.
No.
As unfortunate as to say, the average American does not know ball. The average NFL fan does not know ball.
Because what people like is showy defense. Like it's bad defense, but it's showy. Because you let a receiver get at like 20, 30 yards, and they're speeding up, and here comes the fucking free safety posted all the way back, and absolutely
he's got the run up on it.
That motherfucker into oblivion, kind of like the Travis Hunter Henry Blackburn hit.
Yeah, and it's like,
was that an illegal hit? Was it like a bad play? Absolutely. What that thing did for the CU rivalry?
No, exactly.
For the culture.
So we didn't really get to talk about this much. I don't think, because I think we just weren't trying to talk about it. But it's like, okay, so I fucking hate Deion Sanders. Fucking hate the guy. I think he's annoying as shit. He puts the me in Coach Prime. Fucking hate the guy.
Prime time, baby.
I don't think gives a shit about like any of the culture stuff that originally existed at the University of Colorado or in the state of Colorado in general. I don't think he fucking cares. This is a stepping stone for him to get an NFL job or a better P5 job.
Which he's not going to get.
I don't think he's going to get one either. But anyway, so he doesn't give a shit about that stuff. Jay Norvell, as much as I think that Jay Norvell might not be the guy long-term for CSU. I don't think he's the guy long-term. I think he's a good step as a rebuild coach to get the team to be not losers anymore. But Jay Norvell respects the culture of Colorado State University. He respects the traditions of college football in Colorado.
Not only Colorado State University, and Mountain West culture as well.
And he did what he had to do. He did what he had to do when he got on the radio and he said that shit where he was like, yeah, when I talk to grown-ups, I take my hat and my sunglasses off. It's what my mother taught me. He knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing. He was fanning the flames to actually get the rivalry back, and he got Deion to actually give a shit about the game. Because otherwise, this would have just been like a footnote game for CU. This would have been a game that they don't give a shit about. Nobody wants to watch because CU's not really trying. And I think, my hot take is if Jay Norvell did not say what he said and he just kept his nose down and just kept all that shit to his chest and with the team, I think CSU wins. I think CSU takes the game personally. CU does not. And I think CSU would win if they just kept their mouths shut.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. I don't think so. I don't think so. I see it, but I kinda don't. I think if Jay Norvell doesn't fan the Flames the way they did, if that rivalry doesn't pick up, the whole Deion Sanders, the whole primetime effect doesn't crumble the way it did after that Colorado game. Because that CSU game,
that was their last win. That was their last win.
Not their last win, but it was close to their last win because they went 4.
It was their second to last win. That was their third win of their 4 wins.
In my eyes, that's what destroyed the foundation of primetime. They had all this team coming in from the preseason, right?
Oh yeah, well, because they had national media being like, CU by 50 million. Fuck CSU. Who the fuck is CSU?
They get ranked for week 2.
Yep.
Right? Week 3 they do really good against an alright team.
Yep.
But then week 3 you come in to one of the top 25 worst ranked teams last year, and by halftime, you're about to fucking lose.
Yep. I don't know. That game was phenomenal to watch. That was a great game. I'm excited for the rematch in the fall. I'm really excited for that rematch.
I think that's a game that people should rewatch. If you can find a good place to rewatch that game, I would recommend it.
Legitimately top 10 games last season. Of all college football, top 10 games.
Absolutely. And then again, coming back to that Henry Blackburn illegal hit. Absolutely. I'm not gonna say that players should target other players and make illegal hits. I mean,
that's what rivalry games are about. I'm gonna be honest.
But it's for the culture. If it's for the culture, you know what I mean. All I'm saying is that who's a good receiver on the who no, I'm gonna say this. All I'm saying is that whoever the fuck they put throwing the pigskin for the Patriots next year, and Sauce Gardner absolutely wrecks the shit out of them. Past the whistle being blown.
Oh yeah, that's kind of what these games are. These games are missing a little bit of dirty play. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah,
but Yeah, like I think college football even is losing that because it's like I think college sports work best when it's two teams who are like at most like 3-hour bus ride from each other, fucking hate each other, fucking despise each other. They're close enough that the students can drive like to and fro to like fuck with the other school, you know, like spray paint some shit, steal the mascot, you know. Like, that's what it's all about. And it's like you have fucking, like, USC and you have all these West Coast schools
going to the fucking
going into
SEC
the Big Ten,
or
going to the Big Ten.
10.
And it's like, dude, it's like at Penn State, you know? Penn State, when it's Michigan week, that's a big fucking deal because it's fucking Michigan week. And it's like, you know, it's like, oh, we play UW this week. Who cares? Who cares?
All I'm saying is that that's what rivalry games are for. In every single sport, in every single thing, the two teams that are closest to each other have the most beef. Okay,
yeah, the two teams that are closest to each other need to hate each other.
You go to soccer over in Europe. Okay, the two biggest teams in Spain, right, are Barcelona and Real Madrid. You would think that's the biggest rivalry because they're the two biggest teams. Is it a great rivalry? Yes, it is.
But is it not like the rivalry?
But that rivalry is called the Madrid Derby, which is two teams that are in Madrid. They don't even play on the same stadium, but they're both in Madrid.
Yeah.
Right? And it's the Atletico de Madrid versus the Real Madrid. And that shit gets heated, bro. Heated. Because it's like there's that dividing line on the city to where like, oh, we support Atletico here. You're fucking Real. You're fucking piece of trash. It's like that kind of that's sports culture. Sports fun.
Which is for me, it's like as somebody who is from Pennsylvania, lives an hour from Denver and watches Seattle sports. You know, it's like the Broncos fucking hate the Raiders, who moved closer to be in Vegas. Broncos fucking hate the Raiders. The Eagles, Eagles Cowboys is one of the only ones where I can think where the distance is huge. Like the distance is huge. Eagles Cowboys fucking hate each other.
You remember when the big thing was Angels Dodgers?
I do not. I was never a big baseball guy.
Okay, so that's another big rivalry. Like, you know, Angels Dodgers, Yankees Mets.
Yeah,
it's all people that are close. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like that the Angels are now the Los Angeles Angels instead of the Anaheim Angels. I don't like that the San Diego Chargers are not the LA Chargers.
Well, the Chargers will be punished forever by being a like mediocre football team for leaving San Diego. The Chargers will be punished eternally for leaving San Diego.
Yeah, I think it's dumb. You know, it kills the culture.
If there was a team to be in Los Angeles, it should be the Raiders.
Absolutely. No, because they were never an LA team.
Yeah, they were. The Raiders were. The Raiders started in Oakland, moved to LA. They were in LA for most of their time as a franchise. Moved back to Oakland, and now they're in Vegas. And so all of LA is not a football city, but the people who are football fans are Raiders fans.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I'm sure you could talk. I'm sure you could talk to Nat about this. I'm sure, like, or maybe Nat's dad.
No. I think Nat's dad is a
Rams fan.
Nat's dad is in like LA blood through and through. He's a Dodgers fan. Yeah. He's a Rams fan. You know, but Nat's family, her uncles and stuff, that's Raiders country over there.
Yeah, exactly. Like, okay, I'm gonna be honest, and this might sound really bad out of context. The Raiders are the football team of low-income areas.
Yeah, same as Oakland, you know? I'm going to be honest. Same as the A's. I mean, the A's, you know what I mean?
You see a Raiders sticker on somebody's pickup truck, you could probably assume that they've been to prison. They have seen the inside. And with that, I think we're going to go to midroll. Thank you for joining us at the funeral for YouTuber who you liked when you were 12's career. Up next to speak, we have Victor delivering a eulogy. Thank you.
I'm sorry. I just can't believe he retired, you know? Like, one day you're just 12 and watching their videos when you come home from school, and the next you're like 21 and they're retiring, and at least I've got at Momscast on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube to get me through it. And if I really need to, Mom says my turn on the podcast on Spotify and other podcasting platforms. I just can't do this right now. Wait, before I go, remember to rate us 5 stars and answer the episode polls.
And we're back.
Anyways, we're back from midroll.
We've been quick with the mid rolls, pulling back the curtain quick. Usually when we record the mid rolls, we have to trim 10 minutes out of the episode because it takes us a long time to record and or edit them. Not edit, but record and like come up with the idea. Lately, we've just kind of been like bam, bam, bam
on a roll. Yeah, tell us what you think about the mid rolls. What's your favorite Momscast mid roll, if you have one? You know, there's what.
30. This will be 32 now that you've heard
30.
now that you've heard this next one. There's 32 of them. So
there's 30 because you take out the specials.
Oh yeah, Momscast 10 has a mid roll.
Yeah. But Momscast 20 doesn't, and Momscast 30 doesn't.
Oh yeah, so you're right. There are 30 mid rolls.
Yeah, there are 30 mid rolls for you to pick from.
Quite a lot.
Tell me,
it is quite a lot.
I have a favorite. I'm not gonna tell you what's my favorite.
I also have a favorite, but I'm not gonna say what my favorite one is.
Here, flip it out. I want to know what your favorite one is. Friend.
My favorite one is Momscast is back again, where it's the football one.
Oh yeah,
the CSU winning the Natty. That's my favorite one.
That's my favorite too.
That's my favorite one that we've done.
Yeah, that's my favorite too. Okay, we're back.
Okay, we have the same favorite mid.
We're in agreement. What's the best Momscast mid roll?
Actually, my close second favorite is the OG Christmas one. It's honest. November. It means it's that one. There's no better gift than the gift of Momscast. That one.
My favorite one is
I'm gonna leave
Momscast.
I'll leave this bit in. There's some good ones. I like the Batman one too.
Yeah. Oh, the American Psycho one's also really good.
Oh yeah, that one's very niche, but if you get it, like it's pretty.
If you
solid.
get it, you get it.
If you get it, you get it. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones.
What's one of the musical ones we did? I remember that you spent too long trying to make it.
The Momscast Dirtbag.
Yeah.
Momscast Dirtbag. That's a good one. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones. There's the truck commercial one. The truck commercial one where I played Do You Want to Know on guitar.
Yeah. You know what we stopped doing? We have stopped doing Momscast ending bits.
Yeah, we did. It's
kind of hard. We should get back on that.
On the topic of ending bits, one of the things that I was really proud of that I did, and that was actually a really funny bit that we had to delete because it was in an OG Momscast episode, was... it was the episode Victor was in, actually. It was the first Victor
the best episode of OG Momscast.
And it was a proto Momscast episode. And so what it was Victor was filling in for one of the hosts. They were feeling ill. And so Victor filled in.
On the mid-roll.
And so the idea of it was that we originally ordered a gorilla from the Denver Zoo to be the replacement host, but they lost it. And so Victor was filling in as the replacement for the gorilla. And so the ending bit of that episode was me getting a phone call and the gorilla was loose in a mall and rampaging. And so the audio, I'll put the audio in because fuck it, why not? Nobody else is going to hear it. And that was the ending bit of the episode. And so the ending bit was me getting the phone call, playing like the audio is saved on my computer as gorilla attack phone call. It's one of my favorite things that I've made.
Good.
It's one of my favorite things I've made. I'll put it in right here.
I was so happy with it.
Okay, so that was the gorilla attack phone call audio. Pretty good, right? And so the ending bit was that. And then I'm like, guys, they found the gorilla. We gotta go. And so the ending bit was all this being like, shit, getting up and like closing the door.
We jingle keys on the mic, and then I go and slam the dorm room door.
It was such a good ending bit. Honestly, there were a lot of good. There were some good opening bits on that podcast.
A lot of like Momscast ideas came from that one episode of Proto Momscast.
No, they really did. They really did.
I think
Momscast, I think, was most useful for me to get the editing format down and to get all of the accounts set up so that we could just hit the ground rolling when we came back.
I think if you ask like what truly helped define the identity of what Momscast is now is that one episode what me and Brandon did, because it was mostly me and Brandon like saying the dumb shit.
Oh,
like
yeah.
it was me saying something really dumb and Brandon saying, okay, reel it back in because you're cheesing it too much.
Yeah.
And that's how we kind of hit the sweet spot. That's like where we're at now.
I think if you listen through all of our episodes, which is weird to me that would take 32 hours, roughly.
What?
Roughly 32 hours to listen to all of
Yeah.
Momscast. It would take you over a day. You could make Momscast a full-time job for 3 days. and it would take you 3 days to get... No, it would take you 4 days. If I could do math, that'd be great. 32 hours of Momscast is for... it's almost a full work week of Momscast episodes, which is wild.
Wow.
But if you listen through those episodes, I think that our first episode is pretty shit. Our second episode, Momscast Loves the Troops, used to be the one that we told people to listen to. And it kind of sucks. We re-listened to them to make the compilation. It kind of sucks. It only gets good. Hold on. It only gets good once I start my Disney rant. And that's at the tail end of the episode.
To be honest, when we used to tell people to listen to that one, we barely had 5 episodes.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And that's because that second episode is better than our first one, but not by much.
Yeah. The third episode was kind of alright.
What's the third one? It's
No. I gotta make sure.
What's the third? Okay, so the first one's Momscast. Momscast Back in Action. Momscast Loves the Troops. Momscast to the Future.
Momscast to the Future is alright. There's nothing like when I think back Momscast, an episode that like jumped to me. Momscast to the Future, or it's not a
It's not a banger.
Not a banger. But then we hit Momscast makes a movie.
There's a 2-episode streak because Momscast is Hungover is also really fucking good.
Yeah.
Momscast is Hungover is great, and then Momscast makes a movie. Goated 2-episode stretch right there.
Good. That's. I'm gonna call that the first 10 episodes. I'm gonna dub classic Momscast.
Yeah.
Then
Victor
we have
Victor moves between episodes 12 and 13. We had pre-recorded episodes 10, 11, and 12. And so the first episode we recorded in the current arrangement is episode 13, Momscast casts Fireball. And there's definitely a little bit of jank, but like from episode I think Momscast takes the SAT is where we hit our stride with the digital format.
I think each Momscast each Momscast era is defined by the Momscast break TM.
Oh yeah.
Cuz like you get proto Momscast, huge break. You get a classic Momscast break,
digital Momscast. Yeah, remote Momscast. I think you call it remote Momscast.
Remote Momscast break, and then Momscast
whatever
now.
This is, current Momscast.
Well, they're already coining and talking about like eras. They're already coining a name for like the new era of Doctor Who that's coming.
What is the new? Because I know it was classic Who, New Who, which I think New Who should be spelled like new metal NU. It should be NUWHO.
I'm not sure about that. They're calling it Neo Who.
I kind of hate that. I kind of despise that actually, especially because it's still called like Series 14. Like it can get called Season 1 all at once. Production wise, it is Series 14.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. Can we talk some Doctor Who on the podcast?
I think we can talk Doctor Who on the podcast. Okay, so for context, real quick, Doctor Who is the sci-fi franchise that I have my emotional attachment and nostalgia goggles for, because my mom is like, big into Star Wars, big into Star Trek, big into Doctor Who. Never had me or John watch Star Wars or Star Trek. I watched Star Wars Episode 4 when I was 14 years old. And I am yet to watch Star Trek. They put all the OG movies on HBO Max, though, so I might watch those. But so Doctor Who is my thing that I watched as a kid, and I have my nostalgia goggles for.
On my side, I was always a big Star Wars kid. I watch a little bit Star Trek. I kind of get the gist. Like, I can tell you who Picard, what's the difference between Picard and Kirk, you know what I mean? I can tell you what's classic, what's generations, and what's the Kelvin timeline, which is the basics for like, you know, if you understand Star Trek. But I was a Star Wars kid, right? But then again, in my lifetime, There's only really been two good, successful new Star Wars content, which is Rogue One, which is hot take here, which shouldn't really be that hot. The
Rogue One's
best
good.
Star Wars movie. The best
The
Star
best
Wars
one.
movie.
You'd say it's the
one.
best one?
I say it's the best
I
one.
don't know if I'd go with that one. I've watched all of them. I don't think any of them are crazy. I think if I watched them when I was like 6, I would be like, "Oh my god, Star Wars!" Because that's how every 6-year-old is.
I'm gonna say it. Rogue One is the best Star Wars movie. That's my hot take.
I think
That's my hot take.
okay. I respect your hot take. I think objectively, my personal favorite's Return of the Jedi. Objectively, it has to be Empire Strikes Back. Just objectively,
yeah.
Objectively, it has to be Empire Strikes Back. But anyways,
And
Doctor
then
Who.
the other. Wait, let me finish.
Oh, okay, go for it.
The other property is The Mandalorian. But then I picked up Doctor Who when I was in like 6th grade, and back then that's that golden era.
When did you
Doctor Who.
you start? No, I disagree on that. When did you? So who was the Doctor when you started watching? You were in 6th grade. It would have been like right when Matt Smith was starting, right?
Yeah. I started with Matt Smith.
You started with Matt Smith. Okay.
Yeah,
My mom
and
had
then I
me,
started with
rewatch
I
all of
started
them.
with Matt Smith, and then started back watch when the season ended. I back watched the
Eccleston
9
and
and
Tennant.
9 and 10. Yeah. I really liked Doctor Who. I enjoyed it. I watched the whole entirety of Doctor Who up to like Capaldi's last season, and then I kind of dropped off Doctor Who. I watched the first like 2 episodes of Whittaker, and then like I graduated, COVID, bunch of shit happened. Didn't really keep up with it.
Yeah. So my mom had John and I watch Doctor Who with her. So we started, and we were like 8 or 9. Like, we were kids. Because again, at the end of the day, Doctor Who is a children's show. As much as people don't want to admit it. Actually, I think it's all audiences. I'd say Doctor Who's all audiences.
Well, Classic Who is definitely it was definitely marketed as a children's show.
Yeah. So, anyways, we started with Rose. So we started with the first episode of the revival, and we watched all the way up through. John stopped watching around. If I asked John, "Do you remember watching Blink?" he would say yes. If I asked John, "Do you remember watching the 10th Doctor's last episode, The End of Time Part 1 and 2?" he would say no. He stopped watching somewhere between those, and then I kept watching it. And so I remember Matt Smith's first season very well, and then I remember his second season, season 6. I remember bits and pieces of it. And then season 7, after Matt Smith regenerates, is around when I stopped watching TV in general, though. I stopped watching TV in general around the 50th anniversary, Day of the Doctor, Time of the Doctor. Like, that's around when I stopped watching. And so I've been rewatching it because we started, I think we talked about it in an episode of Proto Momscast, probably.
No. That was
because
after.
we started watching it over spring break when we were staying with we started watching it, and I kept watching it, and I've just kind of it's been like on and off, but it's something to watch when I want to watch it, and I'm enjoying it. I'm getting some new perspectives on it that I didn't have before, and I watched the 60th anniversary specials, and I watched the new special, and I'm excited for where it goes.
And you can't disagree with me, but the later Tennant and earlier Matt Smith run was like the golden era of like New Who.
I think, I would agree with that. I would say series 3 through series 5 is like the golden era of New Who. So that's the Martha season to the first Amy season.
All right. Yeah, I would agree with that. I would definitely agree with that.
The thing that I realized is watching it, I really cared for like the Doctor and the Rose thing. And then as like more time passed, and Tennant's Doctor is just continuously like all about Rose, I was kind of like, man, this is really starting to be annoying. And then it's like you get out of it, and it's like I have enjoyed the Martha Doctor interaction, Donna Doctor relation, Amy Doctor, Rory Doctor relationship, all so much more than I have enjoyed Rose and the Doctor. I think Rose is a great introduction companion to the show. I just think it gets kind of lame. That series 2, pretty weak overall.
Oh, I'm gonna say it might be a hot take, but every single companion after Rose is more interesting than she is.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I really like that first series of Doctor Who, though. I think series 9 of Doctor Who, kind of great. Series 2, which is why I can't call like series 1 to series 5 the golden era, because series 2 kind of falls off the wagon for me. But like that first like series run, that Christopher Eccleston season, that season's phenomenal because they didn't know if they were going to get a second season. So like it has to actually try to be really good so that people keep watching it. And it's like it's really good. It's like I don't know. That's my thoughts.
We're going too much in
we're going too niche. Ah, shit. Here's some cartoon sound effects to bring us back in.
Yeah, what I was gonna say is that they are calling like the Shitty Gatwa stuff forward. They're like they're branding it as a soft reboot, which it is, and I'm not mad about.
Yeah, I'm not mad about it either. It needed to happen at some point just because there's so much baggage.
There's a lot of baggage, and it's daunting. It really is daunting.
Well, because my thing is, and I had this with Kiri too. I was like, I really fucking like Doctor Who. I want to watch the 60th anniversary specials when they come out. And Kiri's like, I want to watch Doctor Who, but 13 seasons seems like a lot. And I think it's definitely needed for this new jumping on point for it to be a season 1.
You don't have to watch 13 seasons. I think
if you want the lore, you can watch them. If you want more Doctor Who, if you like what you're seeing from the new stuff, you can watch the old stuff.
You still have to watch 8 seasons at least, because I think 5 is also a good jumping on point.
5 is a decent jumping on point. I think if you want the full experience of the 50th anniversary special,
if you want the full experience, you gotta go all the way back to series 1.
Yeah, so my mom actually had me watch a couple episodes of Classic Who, and by today's standards, Classic Who is like borderline unwatchable.
I can imagine. It's like low budget.
By today's standards, well, you have to really think about it as either a soap opera or a stage play. Like you need to suspend your disbelief almost as much as watching like a stage play when you watch classic Doctor Who, to not just be like, wow, this looks terrible. How did this become Britain's second largest cultural export behind like James Bond?
Back to actually talking about the new Doctor Who.
Okay, yeah,
I want to bring up to you. And we're going to talk minor spoilers for the quote-unquote introduction episode of the Shudigatwa.
If you want to watch The Church on Ruby Road, just watch it. Don't pay for Disney Plus. Find it on this cool website. Beep! Oops, sorry, we can't do that. We don't want to get sued.
It's pretty good. Just watch it. Don't even you don't have to know absolutely anything about
Yeah, you don't need to know anything. You don't need to watch anything. Just go and do it.
Just know the only thing you need to know is that the Doctor is a cool guy that does stuff. That's it. That's all you need to know. I don't know how to feel about it.
I liked it. I didn't get he's like the new Doctor moment until the scene where he's running on the roof yelling at Ruby while she's on the ladder. I thought I was watching that. I was like, oh, I could see Capaldi's Doctor yelling that. I could see Eccleston's Doctor yelling that. I could see most of the classic Doctors yelling that. Or some variation of that. I could see a lot of the Doctors yelling it. I could see Matt Smith's Doctor yelling it.
It's not that he doesn't feel like the new Doctor is. It's the thing. It's not anything that's like inherently wrong. This is in my heart and my mind. Doctor Who is a sci-fi show, right?
Yeah.
Is there a great few amounts of suspension of disbelief stuff that you have to do and jump through hoops? Absolutely. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, there is.
But then you get the goblins that fit on you know what I mean?
Okay, so my thoughts with this. I think we're going to see so one of the 60th anniversary specials, and it's like those shouldn't be taken lightly. They're not just episodes of Doctor Who. The Doctor invokes a superstition at the edge of the universe. It's mentioned several times. And then in the giggle, Kate Stewart goes, bind that box in salt. And it's taken, it's played completely seriously along with the Mavity line earlier in the show. Those specials have an impact
on the show.
There's going to be some straight fantasy stuff, which I think is fine. I think it's kind of stupid when we go, oh, the Queen of England's a werewolf, but no, she's not the werewolf. The Queen of England saw a werewolf, but it's not a werewolf. It's an alien that looks exactly like a werewolf. Yeah. Let's call a spade a spade.
Yeah, I told you this you didn't tell me. I told you this. I'm not sure how I feel about fantasy in my sci-fi show, but let's say spoilers for the 60th anniversary special. Let's say the Toy Maker's domain irreparably changed the nature of the world. So I will forgive it for now.
Yeah. That's
so
my thing. With it.
I can see it, but then it's about the feel, right? It makes sense. It totally makes sense.
Yeah.
In the context of the show. But that's like that one weird Star Wars movie where a girl crash lands on a planet that's like stuck on like medieval tech, right?
Oh, yeah.
Is it Star Wars? Yes. Does it completely make sense in a huge galaxy like the Star Wars ones? There's bound to be at least one planet where people are stuck in like medieval tech or like fantasy-ish tech, and there's like aliens that look like orcs, which there already are on the franchise, and there's a guy wearing like spectacles.
Yeah.
Does it make sense in the setting? Absolutely. But how does it feel? Does it feel like Star Wars?
I have different feelings on this because I am okay when my sci-fi show introduces fantasy. I am not okay when my fantasy show introduces sci-fi.
Completely agree. The other thing I was gonna say, spoilers, and this is like just me putting together dots that probably are not there. You know Mrs. Flood?
Yeah.
Okay, and back to the 60th anniversary special. The toy maker says, I play with the master, turn him into the golden tooth, right?
Yep.
Then at the end, they pan to someone picking up the golden tooth, yada, yada, yada. The master is going to be reintroduced. This is bound to happen.
Oh, absolutely.
Mrs. Flood, by the end of the episodes, not that that much surprised by the TARDIS, you know.
Oh,
and then at the end, there's the post-credit scene where, like, Mrs. Flood makes the fourth wall break and goes, "You've never seen a TARDIS before?" And then smiles and has a little glint the same way the golden tooth glinted in the toy. She's the master. That's my theory.
My thing, okay, so my thing is I think the master has been overused a little bit recently because I didn't like how Chibnall wrote the master. I did a little bit. I didn't.
You didn't like Missy?
I liked Missy. I didn't like how Chibnall wrote the master with like the crazy master, the Hitler master.
Oh, I didn't watch. I haven't watched the Chibnall
so
stuff.
he brings the master back like a season after like Missy, and it's like, wow, that's kind of lame. So I'm hoping we get like a little break from the master.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did like Missy though. I don't know. My thing with Miss Flood is there. I feel like there's a couple options there, and I didn't immediately jump to the master. One I saw is that Ruby is her own. Okay, so it's some variation of Ruby is her own mom or
like
drops herself off.
Kind of like in Looper.
Yeah, and drops herself off and then is actually Miss Flood. The other one I saw is that obviously you're going to have you're going to have the Ronnie, or you're going to have there's another female Time Lord in Classic who's a companion. You're always going to have those two come up in conversation.
There's always what happened to the Doctor's daughter or granddaughter? Was she human?
That's like a weird thing that the show doesn't like to talk about. That's like a weird thing that the show doesn't like to address. Moffat brought it up a couple times, but it was never like a dialogue reference. It was like Capaldi's doctor on his desk when he's like a professor. He has two pictures on his desk. He has River and he has Susan on the desk, and that's like the extent that she gets mentioned in the show.
Capaldi's doctor is the faithful husband of River Song. You know.
Yes.
Like if we're being fully honest, the doctor is a bit of a slut. He's a slut.
The 11th Doctor's such a fucking whore. Like, I was watching it. I was like, holy shit. This is a man whore right here.
Yeah, but then, River Song is married to the Doctor, but he's specifically married to Peter Capaldi. You know what I mean?
Yes. And it's like the 10th Doctor gets around a little bit when he's not being like, oh, I miss Rose Tyler. He's like whoring around. Like, his thing in the 50th is he's banging the queen, the Virgin Queen. That's like his thing in the 50th. I love Doctor Who though. I fucking love Doctor Who.
The Doctor's a slut, and Chitty Gat was supposed to be another slut Doctor.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
Okay, Brandon complaining about chuds, but I promise to make it quick. The Doctor has like a throwaway line in that where it's like, I spent a hot, sweaty summer with, he's like Scottish. I can't do a Scotsman. It's a hard accent. But the Doctor's like, I had a hot, sweaty summer with Harry Houdini.
Do your dwarven accent and then take the dwarf out of it.
Yeah. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not suppressed. But so the doctor has like that throwaway line about getting out of knots. And it's like, I spent a hot, sweaty summer with Harry Houdini. And the judge were like, the doctor is gay now. And it's like, one, there's several doctors have mentioned a hot, sweaty weekend with Harry Houdini. And two, the 10th and 11th doctors would make passes at men.
Yeah, absolutely, totally. Like
the
definitely.
ninth Doctor, like I think in Christopher Eccleston's season, it's when they meet Captain Jack, and Captain Jack is openly like a bisexual character.
A slut.
It's very important to the character that Captain Jack's bisexual, and he like makes a comment at the doctor, and the doctor is about to call him a slur. So the ninth Doctor, homophobic. 10th and 11th. No. Well, 10 questioning, would be willing. 11 open.
Coming back to the and I'm sorry we keep coming back to the 60th anniversary special. Right? The Doctor and Donna just fucked up and changed the gravity to mavity, right? And then Donna goes, "Is it me or was Isaac Newton hot?" And the Doctor says, "Oh yeah, he was kind of hot." And then he stops for a moment and goes, "Is that the person that I am now?" And then Donna goes,
"Okay."
Then Donna goes, "You've always kind of been like that, to be honest."
Yeah. So I wasn't such a huge fan of is that the person I am now from the 14th Doctor, who, let's be honest here, let's call a spade, is just the 10th Doctor. He's playing the same fucking character, except he's more mature because now David Tennant's old. He's like 50 something. I think he's over 50. No, David Tennant in the 60th anniversary special is the same age as William Hartnell was when he started playing the first Doctor. He's like 57.
We are wrong. David Tennant is currently 52. William Hartnell was 55 when he started playing the first Doctor.
That's crazy.
I know. It's weird. And so, I don't think, he had 57 or 47, but, like, I wasn't a fan of that. Is that who I am now? Because it's like, we don't need this every 30 seconds. We just don't. I feel like they say it a lot.
They don't say it that much.
Well, it's like in
They talked more about Donna's daughter's gender than they did about the Doctor being gay.
I don't think so.
They did.
But also Russell T Davies. That's just always how he's wrote the 10th Doctor, because it's like in his introduction Christmas episode, he's like I forget what like the Prime Minister's name is, but he's like that was genocide. I forget what her name is. It's like something like I don't know.
Yeah, forget about it.
And he's like. And she's like, "Oh well, tee." And he's like, "I will strike your career down with 3 words. That's the man I am now." And it's like he's always written the Doctor like that. I love Russell T Davies. I love what Russell T Davies has done for the show. Sometimes he's a bit cheesy.
The one question I do have is, what the fuck are they gonna do with Torch now?
Torchwood?
No, not Torchwood. What's the Avengers Tower people now? What's their name?
That's Torchwood.
No, Unit.
Yeah. They just had Unit in the show.
What the fuck are they gonna do with it now? Because it's too big.
In the trailer, they're gonna have Unit. In the trailer for the new season, there's gonna be a Unit episode.
In my opinion, Unit's too big now. You know what I mean?
I kind of liked
Unit used to be. Listen, it kind of has to be done because Unit used to be like these Men in Black type people, right?
It was more like a Black Ops unit of the Army in classic Who, because I actually did watch a lot of 3rd Doctor and 4th Doctor when the Doctor was like working for Unit. I remember watching a lot of those 3rd Doctor episodes. Actually,
Unit used to be like it's close to the government. It's a thing that's get buried under wraps. Now there's a big ass like Avengers Tower style, like Unit thing, which makes sense because what the British people have gone through every Christmas since the Doctor came back.
Oh no, they had a couple of years off during. I don't think Matt Smith has a Christmas episode set in the present day. In the present day,
his introduction episode is in Christmas, isn't it?
No, that's Matt Smith. I'm talking Matt Smith.
Yeah, his introduction episode is also on Christmas.
No, it's not. The 11th hour is not a Christmas episode.
I'm gonna look it up.
David Tennant's episode, The Christmas Invasion, his introduction episode is a Christmas special. Matt Smith's Christmas specials are, oh shit, I don't remember what it's called. It's a Christmas Carol. It's a Christmas Carol. That's not set on Earth in present day. It's set in present day, but not on Earth. Then there's The Doctor, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, which I don't think is present day. Then there's The Snowmen, which is set in Victorian times. And then it's the time of the Doctor where he's on Trenzalore thousands of years in the future. I don't think he has a Christmas episode set in present day. So they got like a 4-year break while Matt Smith was the Doctor. And then Capaldi, I don't think most of Capaldi's take place on Earth present day either. I think there's only like the return of Dr. Mysterio for Capaldi's Christmas specials. Correct me if I'm wrong.
You might be right. But still,
you cannot handle the uber instincts of my uber autism.
there's a throwaway line in a part of some Doctor Who episode where it's like, where are all the people for Christmas? And they're like, oh, they're away from London, dude. Like you done fucked up. Like no one wants to be in London for Christmas. And then the same thing happens on the Ruby episode because they're out back from the club and you see the streets and they're absolutely desolate.
Yep. I think that's a funny bit of lore. I do think that's a funny bit of lore. There's these really good videos on YouTube called When Doctor Who Continuity is on Point, and it's just like some like throwaway line from like a fourth Doctor episode is mentioned and like to the bone in like it's usually an early Russell T Davies episode, but sometimes Moffat did it, and it's just because like those guys are like turbo nerds for classic Who. They definitely have every episode on DVD. They
Peter
definitely
Capaldi,
watched every episode
Stephen
they
Moffat,
could live.
And Russell T Davies. We're blacklisted by the Doctor Who magazine because they would send too much fan mail.
It was like an inside joke in the early Doctor Who community that Peter Capaldi was fucking annoying about Doctor Who.
Anyways,
David Tennant, big Doctor Who guy too.
You wanna know where Doctor Who continuity is on point?
In the books?
This book is an absolute banger.
What is it? Victor Bookreck.
It's Doctor Who Heroes and Monsters collection. Read it like cover to cover. It's an anthology book of Doctor stories and other stuff. And then there's just shit that happens where it's like Peter Capaldi's Doctor, and he lands on a rainy planet. And he's like taking shit out of the TARDIS, and he takes out an umbrella with a handle that's an interrogation mark. And I'm like,
dude, my mom's favorite, and it's okay. So when people talk about Doctor Who, their favorite Doctor is the one that they watched when they were a kid, and so
absolutely, that's why yours is Tennant and mine is Matt Smith.
Yeah. Even though I'm kind of coming around on it, but I don't know. I might come around on Matt Smith or Peter Capaldi. I like the clips that I've seen of Capaldi. But
Capaldi's run was absolutely phenomenal.
My mom absolutely liked that because she watched. I have no clue how she watched Doctor Who, but she watched Doctor Who when she was like a teenager. Because my mom would have been a teenager in the 80s, and she watched like the TV movie and like read all the like extended like shit, like the Doctor Who adventures that were between like the show and the show, like the show coming back is the revival. And so my mom's favorites are 7 and 8.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I don't like 7th Doctor clips.
8 is a controversial choice, you know?
No, if any Doctor Who fan who got into it during the break, their favorite is 8 because Paul McGann did a bunch of audiobooks. He started the Big Finishes, and there were like all the books and stuff because he was the current Doctor.
7.
He was the current Doctor in lore.
Was 7 the crazy one?
Yes. No, 6 and 7 are both kind of crazy, but 6 is more of like a cartoonishly evil crazy, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Then let me look at the 7th.
7 is more unhinged. But
who's the 7th?
Sylvester McCoy. I don't like his Doctor. His voice kind of... It's literally just his voice. His voice kind of annoys me, and so I can't watch his episodes.
The 7th
or clips
Doctor.
Even. He's the one with the question mark umbrella.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
God, this is such a niche episode of Momscast.
I'm sorry, Momscast heads, but we love Doctor Who.
Maybe watch Doctor Who. I don't know. Maybe it'll change your life. Like it's changed mine.
Okay, so this is how I think it's the best way to watch Doctor Who. This is my opinion. Okay. So wait.
Victor, give your rec, and then I'll give mine.
Okay, so you start with series 1 of the Eccleston stuff, and then when he gets his hand chopped off, you pause and then watch the entirety of Dragon Ball Z. Come back, watch all the way up to Matt Smith, watch Sword Art Online, and then
that's fucked.
Return, wait until the Doctor gets butt naked on Matt Smith's introduction. Sorry. No.
I forget what episode it is. I know it's exactly. I think it's the Christmas episode. It's a Christmas episode.
Wait until the Doctor gets butt naked.
Gonna watch all of One Piece.
Take a pause. Read Chainsaw Man, and every time Denji is a sad human being, you watch one episode of One Piece. And then you finish Doctor Who, and that's the best way to watch Doctor Who, in my opinion.
So my way to watch Doctor Who is, so you're gonna start with Rose. Actually, what you're gonna do is you're gonna start with the church on Ruby Road to see if you fuck with it. If you fuck with it, you're gonna watch Rose, and you're gonna watch all the way up. You're just gonna watch all the way up. Before you watch the 50th anniversary special, you're gonna watch A Lonely Child. You're going to watch the first episode of the show from the 60s. You're going to watch that because if you've watched it by that point, you owe it to yourself to see the start of the show.
Yeah,
watch
absolutely.
that episode, then watch the 50th anniversary special. Watch up to, watch and just watch the rest of it through.
You can, if you want, skip the Chibnall era.
I wouldn't. There's a thing that happened in it that seems like it's going to be important. It's called the Flux. Half the universe got erased.
That's true.
You can you'll see the highs and lows. If you watch that, you'll get the highs and the lows. You'll get the highs of the Moffat. You'll get the lows of the Moffat era. You'll get the valley that is the Chibnall era.
Yeah, yeah. And then you get like, you know what? We're talking too much Doctor Who, Brandon.
Just go watch Doctor Who. Just fucking go watch it.